From Tampa Bay streaming news leader, this is ABC Action News.
I'm Dee O'Reilly. Greg D will have your full forecast coming up. But first, I want to get to your ABC Action News headlines. And we start with breaking news. Police are investigating a suspicious death in Tarpon Springs. It happened on East Boyer Street. Police got a call when the victim didn't show up for work, so they did a welfare check around 2 this morning. They say they found that man dead with no sign of trauma. They are not releasing how he died. They're questioning a person of interest. Check abcactionnews.com for updates. There are 2 presumptive cases of monkeypox under investigation in South Florida. State officials say the patients are isolated and the risk of exposure remains low. The Department of Health in Broward County is working with the Bureau of Epidemiology to notify close contacts. Florida now the 3rd state in the U.S. to detect potential cases of this disease. The disease is normally found in West Africa, but it's now emerging overseas. Global.health says there are now more than 200 confirmed and suspected cases in at least 18 countries. The CDC says monkeypox is a close cousin of smallpox, so less severe and milder. It can cause flu-like symptoms and lead to rashes on the body with a recovery time of 2 to 3 weeks. The World Health Organization points out the virus is likely containable in the U.S. and Europe. The U.S. has a stockpile of the existing vaccine and is in the process of releasing it to people who are considered at high risk. Health experts say the viral illness is passed by coming in close contact with lesions, bodily fluids, or respiratory droplets from infected people or animals. State lawmakers begin their 2nd day of a special session trying to find a solution to Florida's property insurance crisis. With failing companies and crippling rate increases, the property insurance market is the worst it's ever been. Yesterday, lawmakers spent hours in committee reviewing, discussing, and debating bills. Senator Jim Boyd from Bradenton argued his case for Senate Bill 2D, which he co-authored. Boyd says his bill would discourage lawsuits and roofing fraud, the #1 driver of out-of-control insurance rates and homeowners policies being dropped. There's some concern about how long it will take to see relief, between 12 and 18 months. But Boyd admits that's not ideal, but says it's the reality of the market. New details now on a deputy-involved shooting in Dover. The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office says that man was wanted for shooting a relative in April after an argument. They say deputies and a canine found Dwayne Davis hiding in a shed underneath a beanbag on McIntosh Road in Dover. They released this body camera video. They slowed it down to show Davis pointing a handgun at deputies before dropping the gun, appearing to surrender. Well, that's when the sheriff says Davis reached for another firearm and deputies shot him. He was hit multiple times. He's in critical condition. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement is now investigating. The city of Clearwater is looking for community input on how it should spend more than $22 million. That money is part of the American Rescue Plan Act. You can review 11 proposed projects. They include street and sidewalk improvements, affordable housing, and internet upgrades. You can weigh in at a meeting tonight. It starts at 6. It's at the North Greenwood Recreation Center. You can also take an online survey. We have a link on abcactionnews.com under News Links. The Tampa Bay Lightning are off to the Eastern Conference Finals. The Bolts swept in-state rivals, the Florida Panthers, in 4 games. Last night, the Lightning shut out the Panthers with a final score 2-0. Their next opponent will either be the Carolina Hurricanes or New York Rangers. Greg D, it was a little wet night for fans in Thunder Alley.
Yeah, so some rain moving by later in the evening, and that again could be the case across the Bay Area later this afternoon. Not much rain through about 4 o'clock. Temperatures in the low 90s. It's going to be hot with the high humidity. Of course, it's going to feel much hotter. That heat index up above the mid to upper 90s. Rain chances stay low through the afternoon, but notice a couple of opportunities, one around 5 o'clock with the sea breeze, and then 9-10 o'clock, the rain chances pop up again as storms out to the east may head back towards the coast. As you're heading to bed tonight, you might see some rain around your town. You can always get the latest weather updates by downloading the ABC Action News app. Do you?
All right, thank you, Greg. You can now get news 24 hours a day on ABC Action News Plus. Just download the ABC Action News app on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Android TV, and Apple TV.